Hi crafters, this is Cindy B with mrsbscraftroom.blogspot.com here today with another video in the Gypsy Cricut series. Today I'm going to be making some really super quick and simple treat bags to give out to the trick-or-treaters on Halloween night. I wanted to make sure they were very simple to make, didn't have a lot of cuts, and I could replicate them very easily. So this is going to be a quick project. I hope you all enjoy it. What we're going to be using today, George and Basic Shapes, and I've got a rectangle here that I have sized. I have sized at 11.5 by 4 inches, and that's going to create the main base for our treat bag. Okay, and then I went into, I'm not sure which cartridge I used for that one, Gypsy Wanderings, and I selected this square. It's kind of, I don't know, it's got like zigzag edges. I thought it looked a little Halloweenish, and that's what we'll be putting on the front of the bag. And that is sized at 3.35 by 3.24. I will have a Gypsy file on my blog for those of you that are interested. But that's basically it for the cuts. I'm going to use some stamps on this particular project. I'll be using, let's see, Peachy Keen and Scrappy Mom's sentiment stamps. So let's go ahead and cut this out. I'm going to hook this, now that we have the update where the Gypsy can communicate with the Imagine, I'm going to hook this up to my Imagine, and I will go ahead and cut it out. Okay, I've got my Gypsy connected to my Imagine, and I've got my paper loaded and partially put into the paper feed on the Imagine. So I'm going to press the cut button on the Gypsy and hit load mat. And when I do that, you'll notice that on both the Imagine and the Gypsy, the Imagine says that it's connected, and on the Gypsy it says press go. So we're going to press go, and then that's when it's going to start with the mat. There we go, and it's going to cut out for us. Okay, so for the treat bag, we're going to I'm using the Martha Stewart scoring pad, and I've got the long rectangle that I've cut out, and I'm going to score that at 5 1/4 on each end, so that when I fold that up, there'll be a little bottom, and the tops of the bag will meet, so that we'll have that little opening in there, and this will be the front of our bag. And then that's where the little, I don't know what you call that, zigzaggy square comes into play. We're going to decorate that up and put on the front of our treat bag. Okay, so what we're going to do is I like to use my black gel pen, and I'm going to add some stitching marks around the edge of the this orange zigzaggy shape here. Okay, so now I have the zigzaggy square inked with some black ink lines around the edges. And next I cut a square, just a piece of white cardstock in the size 2.5 by 2.5. And this is what I'm going to stamp on to put in the center of this zigzaggy square for the sentiment on the front of the bag. Like I said, this is going to be very simple, so just basic stamping. The sentiment stamp I'm going to be using is from Scrappy Mom's. This is her Halloween set. It's really got some cute sayings. So the one that I'm using says, "Hope your Halloween is a real treat." So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that one on here. There we go. And then for the little image that I want on my treat bag, I'm using this Peachy Keen cat. I think he's like a scaredy cat. I don't know what the name of the set is, but it's from Peachy Keen Stamps. So I'll go ahead and ink him up. And let's stamp him. Make sure he's covered because he's a solid black cat, and I want to make sure I have good coverage. There we go. Great. Don't you love how Peachy King stamps stamp? They're fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to add one little technique to this that I've seen in the stamping world, where they have started adding little lines around the bottom of the images on the square, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to use my ruler, and if you can see this or not, I'm going to draw with my black gel pen a line along the bottom. Okay, then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to draw another line along the side. I'm going to turn it and do the same thing all around. The only thing is when I run across a piece of the image that I've stamped, I'm going to stop and then start again. So if you see that where the tail, I left that, I didn't do that piece. So same thing over on this end. And I've actually seen some stamps that people are selling that do this line around it, but it's not that hard to do. And I think it looks really cool. All right, so next we're going to attach this to the front of our zigzaggy square. There we go. All right, and then the next thing is we're going to put this on the front of our treat bag. All right, and so let's go ahead and put that on. I don't know if you guys can hear all the craziness in the background. My neighbor's having a bunch of trees cut down, so I hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is using a Stampin' Up! Punch. And you can really use any punch you want. I'm going to use this oval punch. And I'm going to position it, let's see, on the front, about like that. And then again for the second layer. I have found if I use punches on 2 layers of cardstock, it breaks my punches. So I don't do it anymore. But if you find it works for you, that's great. So now I have a little handle for the treat bag. So I want to add one more little touch to the treat bag. I want to add some stitching lines in with my white gel pen around the edge of the bag. And that's going to be just something very simple. Just some white lines like that. All right, and that's what it looks like with the white gel pen around the edge. So it's turning into a cute little treat bag. The other thing that I want to do is actually add the bag that's going to hold the candy inside. So I picked up, let's see, this is the tag that was off the bag. It says disposable bags 4x5. They had a really big pack of these at Joann Fabrics. They have a little ziplock across the top, but they're really a nice bag. So what I'm going to do is put this, I'm going to fill it with candy and then put it on the inside of the package. And the way that I'm going to keep this from falling down is I'm going to add, let's see, put a little adhesive across the top. And you might have to use score tape. I haven't tried it with the candy in it yet, so I might find that I'll have to use score tape when I actually put the candy in here. But then we'll just put that bag on like that, and we'll have it filled up with candy, and then we'll close it, and then we'll use a piece of ribbon. And I'm just going to use some orange ribbon and just tie it closed. And we've got a cute little trick-or-treat candy bag to give out to the trick-or-treaters on Halloween night. Now, if you have hundreds of trick-or-treaters, I wouldn't suggest making these. We don't get that many here, so I'll probably make about 20, and that will be the extent. We'll be lucky to have 20 trick-or-treaters. But they turned out really cute. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. I hope everyone has a safe and happy Halloween, and I will see you all next week. Have a good weekend. Thank you.